Hi, it's me, vickym0n. Welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be trying the brand new Urbandecay Wild West palette. I got this a few days ago. I have tried it already. It is amazing, and I really wanted to show you how you could do a really cool cut crease, like take it to the max sort of look. In this look as well, I've used pretty much every single colour in the palette, so if you want to see all of the colours in action, then keep watching. But first, I want to give you a closer look at this palette, especially the packaging. It is divine. So this is the front of the palette. It has this beautiful sort of duochrome snake skin effect, which is very like oil slicky, and it reflects the colours that are actually inside of the palette. And this is the inside of the palette. So we have a huge range of mattes, ranging from these sort of lighter transition shades all the way to these deeper colours with that beautiful pop of teal in there as well. These shimmers are so beautiful as well, and I love that we have the more warmer tones and then we have the kind of cool tones there as well. So there's lots of different things that you can do with this palette. Let me know your initial thoughts when you saw this palette. I was just obsessed from the very first minute I saw it. It's everything that I want in a naked palette. It's got the neutrals and it's got the pop of colour as well, so you can take it to that next level. And I've been having the best experience with it as well. And it is the first fully vegan naked palette, which is incredible. Well done, Urbandecay. So if you want to see how I did this look, please keep watching and subscribe for more tutorials. Right, so let's get started. I'm going to prime my eyes with the Urbandecay Eden eyeshadow primer potion, my favourite. And I'm going to go with this shade Ghost Town first of all. And I'm actually using the brush from the palette as well. I really like the brushes that come with the Naked palettes. The Naked Honey one is one of my favourite brushes, and this is a similar shape. And I mean, look at that pigment. It's like a sort of brick red sort of colour. It's gorgeous. So I'm just using the palette mirror, and I'm going to just kind of arch that around my crease. They blend so nice and the pigment is so good. Okay, so now I'm going to use this shade Spur, and I've flipped the brush over, and I'm just going to start to kind of blend around the outside. So I'm just going to kind of blend that almost like up into my eyebrow as well. So I'm going back to Ghost Town now just to reintroduce that colour. And just make sure it looks nice and strong, and just blend it out again. So I like to kind of map out my shape with the colour, and then I'll go back in and I'll just keep adding and blending and adding and blending. And these build amazingly, and I absolutely love that it's a vegan formula as well. So I'm just taking that shade Spur again, and I'm just going to start to kind of blend that up to the brow, just in preparation for us adding this teal colour, because the teal is super pigmented, which makes it a little bit more of a difficult colour to blend out. So we're just sort of putting this down as a base so it's easier for us later. Perfect. So I'm going to go for the shade Whiskey next, which is just a really rich deep brown colour. I love the amount of mattes that we have in here as well. So you have that variety of sort of the cooler toned sort of mattes that go lovely with the teal, and then you've got those warm, almost like spicy colours in there as well. I think that's amazing. It just means that the palette is very sort of diverse in terms of what looks you can create. And that applied like a dream. It is a true deep sort of brown colour. I'm just flipping the brush over and just making sure that it's nice and diffused. Okay, it's time to add that stunning teal colour text, and I've grabbed my Peaches brush. Look at that pigment. It's so strong and the colour is just absolutely amazing. So because this is a really highly pigmented colour, we are going to be sort of quite careful in our application, so I'm not going to take this too high yet. Slowly start sort of bending that colour round so it meets the crease. So for blending it out, I'm going to dip into this shade. It's called Lardo? Ledu? I'm not sure. And I'm going to take a little bit of that on my brush. And the reason I've started low is so I can add a little bit, blend it, take it a little bit higher, so we get a really seamless blend. Just using the palette as a mirror so I can see what I'm doing. And because we added that sort of soft transition shade earlier, it's making this blend out a lot easier. So when I feel that it's blending well, I'm going to go back to text and just start bringing it in to the blend very gently. I'm just going to check the other side just to see how high I went. And I'm really not putting pressure on this at all. I'm doing tiny little blend motions. So I'm going to go back to that shade now and start to sort of diffuse the edge, because that shade is actually quite dark and quite pigmented as well. So we don't want to take that, you know, too far. Oh, I love it already. So back to Spur, that nice transition shade we used at the start. And that's just going to make sure, again, we get a lovely soft edge on that teal. We don't want it to look blocked on. And I just keep switching back and forth between these colours, just trying to refine the blend a little bit. Let's get my hair out of the way. So to really help kind of blend the brown and the teal together, we're going to go for this shade called Pony Up. And this is kind of like a charcoal sort of colour. It's a matte. It's absolutely beautiful. And it is a little bit darker than Tex. So I'm just going to take that in the crease, kind of low down. We don't want this colour to like overtake the green and the brown, but it really helps kind of marry them both together in the middle. Okay, I'm about ready to start this cut crease. So I've got a little bit of the All Nighter concealer from Urban Decay on my cut crease brush. And I'm just going to start to kind of roughly blank out where my cut crease is going to go. And this concealer is amazing for cut creases because it is full coverage. That looks good enough. So we're going to go for this shade Bud now, which is one of my favorite colors in the palette. It's so beautiful. And I'm just going to start to apply that on the sort of back part of the cut crease where the teal will meet it. I love anything like teal. I love greens. So this is just like a dream come true to have it in a naked palette with all these gorgeous neutrals as well. Okay, so now that's on, I'm going to go for this shade Rustler, which is a really gorgeous like bronze colour. This colour in particular really blew me away. It's so metallic. And even like on a dry base, it applies like this metallic. I'm just being really careful when I'm going to the edge of the cut crease. And it's really surprising how gorgeous these metallics blend together, even though they're sort of opposite colours. And I'm going back to Tex to help sort of blend this out and make sure it looks nice and seamless. So just reintroducing that colour in the outer corner. Come on, tell me you're not watching this and you don't want this palette. It's amazing. This is the Perversion Fine Point eyeliner pen. And I'm just going to do a band just so it makes my eyelashes sit a bit nicer. Okay, I just did some waterline off camera because I don't freak some people out. But I used the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in the shade Demolition, which is a really deep chocolate brown. So to smoke out the under eye, we're going to go for Ghost Town again. And I'm going to start by like stamping it on. Just going to make sure that is all across my under eye. And I'm going to flip the brush over, which had that nice sort of transition shade on. I'm just going to start to blend that out right under the eye. Dipping into Whiskey now. So sort of what we did on the inner corner up top, we are doing again underneath. Okay, for a finishing touch in my inner corner, I'm going to go for Hold'em. And this is like a really nice sparkly gold, so it looks really nice in the inner corner. And for my lashes, I'm going for Urban Decay Perversion Mascara. This is probably my all-time favourite mascara, I'm not going to lie. It's the triple black pigment, and it blends so well when you want to wear false eyelashes. It's really soft. Okay, my lashes today are the Bulk Lash Day and Night Lashes. And that's it. This is the finished look. Let me know what you think. Do we love it? I am loving it. So let me know your thoughts on this new Urban Decay Wild West palette. It's everything I've ever wanted in a naked palette, with those gorgeous neutral mattes and shimmers, and then the pop of colour, and the colour being something a bit more unusual. The fact that it's teal, it's not a colour that you see all the time. I am absolutely obsessed. It's shot to the top of my favourite naked palette list. Let me know if you're going to be picking up this palette, if you're going to treat yourself to it. I will have a link down below where you can get the palette yourself. It is an affiliate link, so if you do use that, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!